Hi everyone, had you seen my corner flip card that I shared recently in Paper Crafting with Paul on Facebook and Nitwit Neighbourhood? It's using the Nitwit kit Sunflower Cottage, which is recently on sale, but I made it using one of their new knickknacks, which is like this collaged image, which was stunning. And I've always had a soft spot for Sunflower Cottage, so I had to make something with it. So the corner flip is there because it flips out from the corner and it still does stand up. And I've made it so it does fit into a 6x6 envelope. So I've made it just a bit smaller than 6x6 just to make sure, especially with all that extra bulk up the top. So some people wanted to know how I made it, and it's really simple. So I thought I'd show you. It starts off with just a sheet of cardstock, which is A4, which means it's 8 1/4 inches tall already. And we want to make an 8 1/4 inch square. So I'm just going to cut it with a long edge on the top at 8 1/4. And that's as hard as our cutting gets. So let's move on to the scoring. I've got my scoreboard ready. And even this is not too tricky either. So we've got our 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. So it doesn't matter which way we put it into our scoreboard. We're going to score at 2.5 inches. Down like so. And then you're going to flip it and do it again at 2.5 inches. So you've done a cross with a small square at the top left and a large square bottom right. We're going to score just a little dash at 5 inches. That's going to be our guide for doing our diagonal score this way. So I'm going to bring this top left corner, I'm going to flip it to top right down to the bottom left, and I'm going to score at 5 again, just a little dash. Bring my scoreboard across, and I'm going to join using the last channel of my scoreboard. I'm going to put that dash there, and I'm going to then just rotate this so the dash here is also in line. And when I go up, it's going to go through that cross and up. So we've created like a triangle there and there. And that is your card base done. So what we're going to do now is just fold them. Just going to fold it over. Grab my Cool Cats Teflon tool because it won't mark my cardstock. So I've made a valley there. And I'm going to do it as a valley here. And then I'm going to just fold this diagonally like so. So I've done them all as valleys. I find it easier. And then what will happen is, as you guide it through, you're going to bring these two into mountain. So in fact, you could just fold it backwards and score it. And then when you bring it in, those two are going to come in, and that's going to fold. So you've got valley and valley and a mountain. You're bringing it up, those two are coming together, and it just automatically folds into shape. And decorating this is pretty easy because it's just a bunch of rectangles and squares and then a special cut on those. So I've gone for Hear Me Roar this time, something totally different. So my card base is 5 3/4. So that means for my image, I've gone down 1/4 inch and made it 5.5 inch square. And what I learned from my first one is you want to put your image down in the bottom left because it did look like I decapitated the dress. And the joy with digital is this comes blank, I've been able to add a Welsh sentiment to this one just by adding a text box to it, and I was even able to use the colour pick option on my PC then to pick out that red to match it. So you can take whatever colour is in the paper and match it into your sentiment. So it really does tie everything together. But of course, if you're not confident with the computer, you can just use your paper kits and toppers for this bit. And you can layer a blue paper and then the pattern paper on top. You know, you don't have to be scared because I've used a digital digital program to do mine. Right, then this bit is 2.5, which means my topper is 2.25. If I cut it out, I can use my scoreboard to check it. Can't get under it. There we are. Let me double check the size. Yeah, 2.25 inch square. So I had to use that little snake image. And then a bit different to my Sunflower Cottage one because I've actually added extra images to this one. I'll show you what you need to do once I've cut them out. So these rectangles now are 2.25 by 5.5. So say whatever you're covering, just measure the width and the height and just make it 1/4 inch shorter. That's all I've done. But with these ones, what I've done is I've added one image to the bottom of this one and one image to the right hand side of this one. So I'm going to just use some distress ink. Oh, I didn't need to do that edge because I'm going to be cutting it off, which you'll see in a second. Well, actually, let's do that now. So I've put a little parrot on this one, so I know that's the one that's going to go here. So it's going to go with the black border, and I can see where my score line, the diagonal one, is coming. So I'm just marking to the left of it. And then I'm taking my scissors, and I'm just freehanded. You could use a ruler and join them up, but I'm just going to do like that. And now that is going to fit in there. So the reason I went to the left a little bit was so it doesn't impinge inside that score line. Otherwise you're adding bulk into it and it's not going to fold. And now that is layered nicely. You could, if you wanted to, in fact, let's do it. Rather than waste this, I'm going to just trim a little bit off again so it doesn't impinge that hinge. So you can see there's a little bit of black in between. That's just so that it can fold. And we're just going to repeat here. Just going to line it up. So this time I'm just going to come just a tiny bit below. And then just trim a little bit off this one. There's a little triangle. And then glue these into this. Oh, look, that was close. Let's put the lid on that. Put the lid back on. And there we have it. That is our corner flip card, which stands up, but opens up for writing. Oh, got some dirt there. For writing your sentiment there. So you see, it looks quite tricky, but it's actually very, very simple. So I can't wait to see what you lot make with this simple fold. Share some photos with me in my Facebook group, Paper Crafting with Paul. I'll add a link below in the description for you to find the group. Just answer a couple of questions and I'll accept the invite. Or just go to Facebook and type in Paper Crafting with Paul and the group should just pop up. And there you'll find inspiration made with other people who've had a go as well, and you can share yours. But please also comment in the box below about what you've thought of this card. I really do like to read what you think. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up. That's what helps my channel to grow as well. So I hope you enjoyed, and I can't wait to see your versions.